On today's episode of Mechanics Don't Know What They're Talking About, that's sarcasm, we have this HHR here driven by a little old lady who doesn't, listens to her son, who's not a mechanic, about how to take care of this car, and it got towed in today because she listens to her son who knows nothing about cars. So hopefully today we can teach you a little bit about what's happening with modern cars today and what you need to kind of do and pay attention to make sure that you don't end up in this same situation. So anyway, let's break this down. So when we got a hold of this, got towed in, tow truck driver says it starts and shuts off. So the first thing we did was check the fuel pressure on it. We got a good 60 psi of fuel pressure. Heard the fuel pump run, so I was like, that's probably pretty good. So we went in and we pulled some codes out of it. Let's see if we can read it here. We got some intake camshaft actuator solenoid codes, exhaust intake camshaft actuator codes. Let's see what else we got in here. Oxygen sensor circuit, and got some tire pressure codes. What else? We got low battery, which this car sits around a lot, so a lot of tire codes in the history. So in our OBD2 permanent codes, we have camshaft position A control circuit, which is our clue into what's going on. So I verified it. The car would start, shut off, and just kind of generally couldn't get it to run. So came around here, started doing basic checks. You see my oil container there. See, we got our funnel in here. So I'm part way into this, and I got 2 quarts of oil into this. Since we have camshaft actuator problems, there's still no oil on the dipstick. Already put 2 quarts in this. So what's actually happening here is this car, which has about 70,000 on it, somewhere in there. Look at the lube sticker, keeps flashing up all kinds of stuff. Last time we did an oil change was let's see, do the math, 9/11 of 24 was the last time, because we do 6 months, 5,000 miles, and we've probably gone about 5,000 miles. And what's happening is it's burning that much oil that it ran itself out of oil, and this is why it won't start. So we got 2 quarts in it. I'm going to go get another 2 quarts. So come with me. We'll go get another 2 quarts. Come over, get our 530 oil here. We'll get ourselves 2 quarts. That way we got 4 quarts in this thing. And right there. Got ourselves 2 quarts of oil until we stop dripping. And we're gonna make sure my thinking on this here has got us correct. That it is low oil on why this car does not start. We're going to get our oil in, but this is a common thing now on a lot of modern cars. They are burning a lot of oil. And what's happening is people are running out of oil between oil changes. It ruins motors, does all kinds of damage, and we don't know if this one's damaged yet, but we got 4 quarts of oil in this. Should hold somewhere around there. Looks like we got some oil on it this time. All right, so we're good to go. So we're gonna see now, get our dipstick back in here, get our funnel out. Get our oil cap on, and let's go see if we can't start this. I'm betting it's gonna run. Some time to get some oil around into things. Come on. Let's get Get some oil to places where you need oil. You might be wrong. And again, we might have a jammed actuator. Ooh, that backfires. Run good RPMs here. I think we might have a stuck cam actuator because we run good at higher RPMs. As soon as we start to drop down here, oh, nope. I think we correct it. There we go. Got oil up in that cam. Everything's working. Got the air out of it. Got the air out of it. Now everything's working. So, this car right here didn't start because there was no oil in it. The cam actuators got stuck and basically kept it from having any type of compression at a low RPM. And that's why when you started it and you played with the gas, you could get it to run up around 3,000 RPM. That's generally where the cams actuate and start doing overlap where it simulates essentially an EGR valve or can provide more power depending on which cam it's actuating on this one. But yeah, that's the piece with modern cars today. A lot of people don't want to believe it. They think mechanics are lying. They think that we're just blowing smoke, but really it's your cars blowing smoke, and you can't see it because the cats are that good anymore. Old cars, you used to see the blue smoke coming out the back. That way you knew it was burning oil. These new ones, you don't see it. What's actually wrong with this and why it's burning oil is, well, one, it probably hasn't had the PCV system fixed on it yet because it is low mileage and she doesn't drive it a lot. But yeah, we're gonna probably have to put an intake manifold on it, fix it up. And usually what happens is a lot of these, we drive them, or they drive them in the winter time and they freeze up. And that's usually the time that kind of clues us in that we need to put a manifold on it, where this one doesn't get taken out in the winter time, and here we are, not changing the oil once a year like we usually recommend. You know, she doesn't want to do that because she wants to save some money, but here we are just costing herself some money by not changing that oil once a year. It probably would have just kept on burning. We never would have known that it was burning because, like I said, no blue smoke out the tailpipe. But yeah, that's the reality of these cars. You know, this one holds 5 quarts. Didn't make it 5,000 miles, so we're burning more than a quart every 1,000 miles, which is not excessive according to a lot of manufacturers, but still runs you out of oil between oil changes. So check your oil, see if it's burning. Things that we do here to help prevent that, we have stuff from a company called BG. You can check them out online, BG products. We do their engine flush service thing that fixes a lot of Hondas and a lot of Hondas, Subarus, Audi, Volkswagen. We haven't done it on a GM, but it should work on them too. Like anything with piston rings that are stuck because you went too long on oil changes and stuff like that. So, and you know, the other downfall of this stuff too is a lot of these manufacturers are telling you can drive all kinds of miles with these. You can do all kinds of miles between oil changes. Stop listening to that. It's the only way you can go that many miles between oil changes is you have to have a really, really good oil filter on there. and even the ones from the manufacturer aren't really good. They're really difficult to find anymore because a lot of the oil filters were bought up by one company, and it's just creating a problem here. So anyway, check your oil, make sure it's not burning, get the just make sure it's not burning, or you're gonna end up like this car and basically run it out of oil. And I think she got lucky here because it's still running. I don't hear any knocking, anything like that, so luckily those camshafts got stuck and caused it not to start. So hopefully we can run this for a couple hours, make sure there's no other engine damage, change the filter out on it, and go from there. Anyway, have a great day. Change and check your oil. See ya.